Okay, so this time we're going to be talking about working inside the transaction in form simplicity. In our last video, we went through setting up a new transaction. We went into the packages. We imported the documents that we needed in each one. For example, I've got them named in such a way that if you're looking to write an offer on a residential property, you'll simply go to the residential offer slash execute a contract package. So when you create these packages, I try to pre-populate most of the most common forms that you're going to use in the transaction. There will be forms that pre-populate in here that you won't use. For example, if the house was built excuse me, after 1978, you don't need a lead-based paint form and you want to remove it. Very simple. I just put it in here just in case you will need it in the future. That way you don't look over it, so you don't have to go searching for the document, maybe forget to add it to the transaction. Just kind of go by the thought that if I add enough data in there, you can always take out what you don't need. Much easier trying to track it down and figure it out on your own. So to delete a document that you don't need in here, you can just go ahead and select the box over here, come over to your commands tab. In your commands tab, you just go down to delete. And there you go. Now your document is no longer in there, and you're just relegated to the ones that you're actually going to use in this transaction. Now, each time that you do a transaction, I do have some documents that I downloaded in here for you, just things to make it a little bit more helpful for you. So you'll see your required docs. Anything that has the required tag on here in the middle, these are going to be things that you'll need to have completed in your broker checklist when you finish the file out. That's how you get paid at the end. We're trying to make it as simple as we can, but the state does require us to have certain documents. So what you'll do, you'll click that. I've already preloaded it over here. So you'll see that you need the transaction record, the executed contract, seller's disclosure, MLS sheets, so on and so forth. So this is just a quick checklist. You can pop it up separately. You can print one for your agent book, so you have it as a handout, whatever you need there. So it just talks about what you need in there, and a little bit of specifics. So once you've started your transaction, you'll be able to come in here. Most of us should be familiar already with filling out these contracts. Now, I do go through the contracts separately each time, and I've got instructional guides in our office, and we can call and discuss a few of these if you need to, and if we need to set up for additional trainings, we will. So let's say that we're going to do our any one of these contracts. We'll just select this as is for now. You're just going to click the text on that. And then once it loads, you'll see your entire state contract. Again, you should be familiar with these by now. If not, you'll need to call and sign up for a specific training on this. And we'll have some instructional videos on some simple how-tos, but first time through, I like to make sure that people have a firm understanding of what's going on here. So we're not going to fill any of this out now. We're just talking about the operation inside of Form Simplicity. So once you're done with this, you're able to go ahead and close out. It'll prompt you to save, or you can save it directly if you made any changes. So let's say that we have everything completed. We filled out our contract. We filled out our transaction record. We need to get signatures now. You've got a couple of options there. You can select the documents that you want to go ahead and have printed and come over to this commands menu. You'll see that you can print a paper copy. You can email them to somebody if they're going to print them out themselves and return them to you. There is a fax function in here. I've had some complaints from customers stating that it didn't work properly in a few occasions. So I skip over that for the most part. You can download them straight to your desktop if you like. I prefer for people to use the e-sign session. That's the easiest way for most people to complete these. So as you're moving forward, we'll go through another specific training on e-sign. Important note on that though, in order to complete an e-sign session, you will need to have the email addresses for all of your clients in the contents tab. And if you only have one side of the transaction, you'll definitely want your side in there. Now, you've heard me mention a few times about the broker checklist. We're going to cover those in another training video here. Just want to show you where they're at. You come over to your broker review here in the center. Sometimes account management will go ahead and put one of these checklists in for you. We prefer for you to go ahead and set one up yourself right away if you while you're setting up your transaction. To do that, you can just go ahead and do this add checklist and select the one that you would like. There was already one in here, so we'll have two. So you'll see that the documents that you need and everything will be downloaded in here. We're going to go through that in more detail on a specific training. So we'll circle back to this. This is more of just giving you an idea how to get set up. Now, another useful one, if you're not using a calendar software, this task tab is pretty handy. If you want to put any follow-ups in for yourself, if you just want to do follow-up on offer and select your date on that, and you can type in anything you want. What you're going to do is you're going to get an email from the Form Simplicity system simply stating, hey, you said you wanted a task update on this. And then one final thing while you're working in here, you will need to upload documents for that checklist in the future. There's two methods of doing that. You can copy and paste this email and email directly into the transaction. That function works great. There is a little bit of a time delay. I've seen it take up to 30 minutes to get a document as it gets through the servers and everything. That's not uncommon for softwares like this. It is important when you do that to come down and change your description so that you can track them down a little bit easier in the future. Or you can manually update them by going to this Add Files button. Click Upload a File, and then go ahead and choose the one. Now, I usually like to go out to my desktop, and I set up a to upload file for my customer. And I try to title these in such a way that I'll be able to see what they are in the future. So, and then because I know in my required docs that I'm going to need certain things, this time I've got the tax bill, I can come up here and I can see that this is my tax bill. So I can just write this in bold. That way when my description is in bold, and I just try to make everything else either with no description or no bold in the description. That way when I'm going through these transactions, because these will grow significantly as you're going through, you'll be able to see at the end, this is my most recent tax bill. It makes it a lot easier to attach it when it comes to the broker review. So I hope that was helpful. Any additional specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. Slide at the end of this video will have all of our contact information. And I look forward to helping you again. Thank you.